So let's have a look at this question. It has to do with quadratic equation. Now, this is really where we are trying to change the words into an equation. Let's have a look. In this question, all lengths are in centimeters. The diagram below shows a rectangular frame for a photo. And we can relate, we've seen a photo frame, we understand there is a frame around, and then there inside there is a place for the photo. And we know that here the length of that frame itself can be smaller, can be bigger, depending on the frame. And then they are telling us that value of WLNX belong to R, meaning any number can be WLNX. The width of the frame is W and the length is L. And we can see that the width and the length. There is a rectangular hole in the middle for the photo, as we've seen it in any photo frame. And then we have measurement here, 12 by 18. That size is 12, that size is 18. The internal width of the frame is X as shown. So they are saying everywhere, at every kind of point, not here, that will be longer. So everywhere here is X. Okay, so what do we need to do? The length of the frame L is 18 plus 2x. Write the width of the frame W in terms of x. So when we are looking at the question like that and we are saying, I actually don't know what to do. So what is that we need to do? We need to write the width, which is what? W. So we need to write this. How do we need to write that length? Because normally we would say, oh, W is 7, isn't it? Or W is 52. But then they are saying in terms of x. When they are telling you in terms of, that means that my answer have to include x. Now, when they are giving you what to do, very often they are introducing an information. And look at that. The information here included, they are saying the length of the frame, L, is equal 18 plus 2x. So here they are giving you the clue. They are saying, look at this. That's the way you have to think about the width. So let's consider what they are saying. So the length here. So that is the length of that. So there is 18, and that's 18, isn't it? So indeed, this part of length, that is 18. Now, this part of this length is what? X. And then this part here is x as well. So indeed, it is x and 18 and x. Therefore, we can say is 18 plus 2x because that's what it means, and. So following the same logic, now we can do for w. Let's just remove too much drawing. So for the W, so let's consider. So here, this part of W is what? 12. And again, this length is what? X. And this length is X as well. So that means that is X and 12 and X. So yes, we can say that W is 12 and therefore plus 2 of x's. So there it is, we give them the answer. Okay, let's see the next part. So the next part is saying hence, meaning what? With the knowledge that you just acquired. What is that knowledge that you just acquired? You know that value of L is 18 plus 2x, and now you know that W is what? 12 plus 2x. So they are saying show that. What do we need to show? That when we multiply L by W, we should get this answer. So that's what we're going to do. L, which is 18 plus 2x, multiply, and then W, which is 12 plus 2x. How do we multiply bracket by the bracket? We have to multiply everything by everything. And drawing an arrows is a good way so that we don't omit any value. So 18 multiplied by 12, we put it in the calculator, and we get the value of Sorry. Yeah, sorry. I just had to pause for a moment. Did I say the correct thing? Yes. 18 multiplied by 12, that is 216. Then 18 multiplied by 2, again in calculator, it gives us 36. And let's not forget about x. Then 2x multiplied by 12. So we multiply 2 by 12. And again, in our calculator, that's 24. And then we're not forgetting about x. And do 2x multiplied by 2x. Sometimes that can get a bit confusing. So what I have is 2 multiplied by x. Because don't forget, there is a multiplication sign when there is no sign between letters and numbers. And that is multiply again by 2 multiplied by x. So what I'm multiplying here is 2 by 2, which is 4. And then when I multiply x by x, can't really multiply it. However, I can write it in a shorter version. I can say that is x to the power of 2 because x by x, that's what it means. I can write it in a shorter version, x to the power of 2. So again, where am I going? Okay, let's see 4. So first we write 4x to the power of 2. I don't know why that disappeared. Then we have 60x. So 36 and 24, we put that in the calculator and we get that that is 60x. And then 216, and that's what we have. So yes, indeed, we show them that multiplication of those two will give me that equation. And then the next part, C, the last part, is saying that that multiplication of L by 4, and that multiplication, we know that's what it is. So this multiplication is 648. So use these. So let's write that. So 4x to the power of 2 plus 60x plus 216 is 644. So use this information from part B to find the value of x. Give your answer correct to 1 decimal place. So again, how do we solve it? In maths, doesn't matter at what point. Once you see a letter and that letter is taken to the power of 2, what you think about this minus b formula in your table. What we have here is a quadratic equation. We have x to the power of 2 and x, and that's our minus b formula. So where is it in our table? We go to the table page, I think 20, there it is. That's our formula. In order to use this formula, we need to know what is a, b, and c. So a is what? Number that stand beside x to the power of 2. So in this case, that's the number that stand beside power of 2. That will be a. B is the number that stand beside x with no power. So that is b. Now, the problem we are having with c, because here in this in the table, they are telling us we should have 0 at the end, but we don't have 0. So that means that number have to move. So 4x to the power of 2 plus 60x plus 216. And when that move, what happened? It changes the sign. So minus 648. And when we put that in the calculator and press equal, we got that the answer is here. Just a moment, let me put it in the calculator. Minus 432. No, I do not do calculation in my head, though I'm teaching maths. Calculators are for that. Okay, so now I identify, so that's my value of C. So how do we use minus B formula? And listen, minus B formula is extremely important for you. Why? Because in your Leaving Cert, in your 5th and 6th year, minus B formula will become your best friend. You're going to be using it a lot. So it's good to learn it now when you are in Junior Cert. Okay, so I've written that formula again here. And now that we identified the letters, we can replace those letters with numbers. So we're starting with B. B is 60. So if we remove this B and this B here, and we put 60 in that place. Yeah, okay, next one is A and A here, and our A is 4. So again, let's remove this A, and let's put 4 here. And then the last one is C, and we said C is minus 432, so that's what we do, minus 432. Now, it takes a skill to put that in your calculator. Why do we have plus and minus? Because we put one version with plus, And the second version, again, with minus. So when we put with plus, we get 5.3. And then when we put with minus, we get minus 20.3. Now, here we have to be very careful. Minus b formula is the only formula that gives us two answers. Always, you're going to get x1 and x2. Right, so two answers. And always with minus b formula, we have to check if both answers are applicable in the question. So what was x here representing in this question? Let's remember, where did we get that x from? X is what? The width of the frame. So that means, can I have a width 5.3 centimeters? Yes. Can I have a width minus 20 centimeters? No, I can't. So no, this is not an applicable answer. So that's our answer here. Again, please make sure you know how to use this formula.